Hello, and welcome to another Game Developers Vlog, in which I'll again be talking about Copenhagen Crisis. No surprise there. Before I start, let me just cover up the center of the game there with a picture, in order to make it a bit more interesting to look at. I'll first be going over what I have done so far since my last vlog, and then I'll talk about what I will be doing. It's the usual structure. As you can see, I've added this driving car that wasn't there before. You could see the car in the last video, but it was just basically painted on the ground. Now it can drive around. That's what I did the day before yesterday. I made it able to follow a path defined by a set of coordinates, in this case 4 coordinates. When it reaches the last one of those, it just targets the first one again and goes round and round. That's very simple. It's going to be much more sophisticated in the end product. What I like most about it is the way that the car accelerates out of the corners and brakes before it goes into them, which surprised me how much it added to the feeling of the game, rather than it just going around at one set speed. I like that. Yesterday, I did rather more than that. I started adding physicality to the game, making it possible for objects to interact, which I'll show in a second or a minute perhaps. And I also worked quite a lot on the structure, polishing the structure of the code so that when there are more objects, more cars, more rats, both friendly and unfriendly, walking around town, it'll be easy for the game to address all of them. Oh, also bullets, of course, you can shoot bullets. And maybe other things. Everything that moves need to be checked, you know. Is it running into something else? Has it reached a point in its path? Does it need to select a new target to go to? Whether that be the next intersection or a rat to try to eat, or you know, has it run into a wall? Everything like that. And that I need good structure in the code in order to do that efficiently. But the most fun thing I did yesterday, as I said, was add physicality. So if I position my poor rat in the path of the car, it collides with it, and well, the car collides with the rat, and it gets pushed back. It gets pushed back by half the speed of the car. So that's why the car drives sort of through it. You can imagine it's rolling over. But if I stand here in the corner where the car is going at low speed, I get picked up, sort of. I imagine the rat is actually jumping on top of the car. That happens automatically if you are in the path of the car when it's at a low enough speed. And this is the thing that I'm most excited about at the moment, because up until now every mechanic I've added, such as walking around and shooting and the car that drives around and that you can collide with, those things are super common in action games. Just about every action game I can think of has that level of interaction. But being able to ride on top of an autonomous vehicle like this, while it does exist in many games, it exists in far fewer games than all the other mechanics. And you know, it's, apart from the graphics, it's the first thing that adds a level of personality, of distinctiveness to my game. Gives it a bit of identity as Copenhagen Crisis, because it's going to be an integral part of it. The way it's about running around town, shooting cannibals and looking for puzzle pieces, basically. And so the moving around part is important. And now he can walk and he can ride on cars, and eventually he should also be able to ride bicycles. That's the final thing, at least for now. So really pleased with that. Apart from that, I've also been tinkering a bit with a few more graphic tiles for the game, like ground things, like sidewalk and some grass, patches of grass and that. They're not in here yet, because I need a few more. For example, the sidewalk. Right now I only have an edge like a section of sidewalk. So I could put a sidewalk along the top there, for example, or along this edge. But if I want to make a curve, you know, I have to construct an outer curve and an inner curve for the sidewalk in order to create roads, basically. And I would like to do that. And same with the lawns. But as I do, I want to add a few more such things, possibly already today. And so that the next time I show this, there will be something else besides these two guys. The car and the rat going around and around. Just to spruce it up. That's graphical improvements in the near future. Code-wise, next thing I'm going to do is probably just to add the possibility for the bullets to act as physical objects too. But I already have all the code in place to do that. So it's just really about telling the game that, hey, bullets are also physical. Then I want to add the ability to shoot more than one bullet at a time. Don't know how many, 3, 5. Yes, right now you have to wait until the bullet reaches its end. On that note, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do this. Right now, when you shoot, the bullet goes to where your mouse cursor is. Let's see if the mouse cursor is this turquoise thing. So if I shoot behind me, you see, it's always going to that same point, no matter from where I shoot. Oh, it goes where I'm pointing, is my point. I'm not sure if I wanted to do that, or I just want to, with your cursor, you indicate the direction, then it goes a predetermined distance. I'm not there yet. I haven't decided which to do. I think if it gets to become a very frantic game, or you know, where you're often chased, pointing precisely where you want to shoot might be annoying. It might be easier to just, you know, I want to shoot in that direction, and then you can just spray some bullets over there, because there are evil cannibal rats coming from that direction. That's a game design question. I'll address that later. Right. More excitingly, I think, is the other thing I want to work on after just making the bullets physical and possibly adding the possibility to shoot more. Intersections. Does that sound more exciting than bullets? Well, I think so. Because, as I said, the car right now just drives on a kind of rail defined by a number of coordinate points. But in the game, I want intersections and doorways to be points of reference, so that whenever a character, whether it be not you, but any one of the other ones, comes to an intersection or a doorway, a portal of some kind, it's going to look around and choose another one. You know, should I go to that intersection over there? Should I try to enter that house there? It sort of sweep its immediate area and look what places are visible from here. Which one will I go to? And in order for that to happen, there has to be points of reference in the game. It's an integral part of what we refer to as pathfinding, which is rather a self-explanatory term. That's what I'm going to program next, and I hope to get to that point today already, because I said the bullets and stuff, that's simple. Most of that's already in the code. So intersections and some randomness. Now I have a random number generator from another game. I might tweak it. I might change it a bit, but it's not really difficult to write a basic random number generator, and using that to allow the entities to make a choice. So, for example, hopefully the next time I show you something, there will be a selection of intersections, you know, a few different roads, and the car will take different routes. It would sort of just choose, every time it comes to an intersection, it will choose a new direction randomly. That is my ambition at the moment, code-wise. And that is my update for this time. If you find this interesting, this game, and you want to follow along, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel and also like this video. If you want to find out more about what I do, because I also paint and write and try to create some fashion, you can find out more about my various projects and get more updates on my Instagram account and my website and other places, the links to which you'll find in the description of this video. And so, with this picture of an adorable rat riding a car and this wonderful weather outside, I shall bid you goodbye. I wish you a good time of day, and goodbye.